Hi everyone. In this short video, I suggest you start learning database topic. Actually, you can read a lot of about SQL's queries. Hello everyone. In this short video, I'd like to introduce you databases for testers. You can also read about SQL syntax in our Telegram channel or in our Facebook group. So join us, like this video. So, databases, what is it? Do testers really need them? Actually, the entire purpose of any database is just to store and manage data. And believe me or not, data and databases go back to thousands of years ago. The Egyptians maybe were the first of our kind who store and preserve data, and they did it, you can see, by carving the data into the rocks. But what about modern databases? Fast forward to present time, we have much more efficient ways to store and manage data using machines in our software. And virtually everything we today do on our devices is hitting kind of database somewhere in the world. It's either putting data into this database or takes data out of it. And for example, when you visit a website to use any mobile application, you can enter some information, click Save, Submit button, and that data will be pushed and stored inside of some database. So, data can also be generated automatically. For example, when you are doing some operation in the application, logs are created, and so on and so forth. So databases, that's obvious something about data. And you cannot find just one best definition of database, but maybe the most general definition is that a database is an organized collection of data. Why do we need them? Because databases make data management easy, helpful, yeah, and it's done with the help of database management systems. Actually, in IT world, database and database management system are often used interchangeably. For example, when you are asked what database have you been working with during your last three projects or something like that, most probably you are asked about not database but database management system. But like theoretically, database management system is just a tool, is some kind of software that help us to manipulate the data, to store it, to create, to retrieve, to delete this data. And there are a lot of different tools, yeah, a lot of different database management tools. You can see them on this slide. Also, databases can be very, very different. And in this slide, you can see just several examples of types of the databases. Yeah, they can be centralized. That means that they are located, stored, and maintained in one single place. They can be distributed when they are not limited to one system and it is spread over different sites, yeah, multiple computers over a network of computers and something like that. But most often, people are talking about and use relational database and non-relational databases. So let's focus on these two types. If we're talking about relational databases, it's actually a collection of data items with predefined relationships between them. They're usually stored in kind of tables, yeah, in tabular form. And these tables are organized with the help of columns, rows, with a lot of interconnections. Yeah, here you can see the example of relational database. Yeah, this table which are connected with each other, and also you can see relational database management system, which are used for working with such databases. And if we're talking about relational databases, we should for sure discuss the tables. These tables has the synonym relation. So if you hear what is relation customer in this database, you should understand that relation means table. Each row is called tuple, and the column can be called attributes. For sure, you can use like column, row, or table, but I'd like you to know this term not to be confused when discussing databases with your colleagues. Also, if we are talking about relational databases, you should understand what primary and foreign keys are. In general, what keys are? Actually, keys help us to build these relationships between data and to work using these relationships in these tables with this database. Yeah. So what is a primary key? Primary key, it's like a constraint, a column, or sometimes it can be a group of columns that identifies the row uniquely. Yeah, this is absolutely unique key. For example, you look at the table below, course ID. On the table number 2, this is a unique number for each course name. But using this primary key, I can build the relation with the table above, because the primary key from my table below is actually foreign key for the table above. Foreign key is a column that actually creates the relationship between two tables. You can see that for the second table, it's not a unique identifier, but it helps logically relate the data from this table from this with the second table. What else should I tell you? Also, there is non-relational databases, and they are different from traditional relational databases because they store the data not in this tabular form. Yeah, instead, non-relational databases might be based on the data structures like documents. A document can be highly detailed. Yeah, contains a lot of different types of information in different formats. Yeah, actually, there is no relations between such tables, files, documents. And here you can see some examples of non-relational databases as well. Maybe the most like famous is MongoDB database. Here you can see the slide with just the comparison of relational database, yeah, where you can have some relations between two tables, and non-relational database where only the information in the convenient for the project way is stored. And maybe the most important questions, and why do testers actually need the knowledge of database and database management system? First of all, it's obvious if you are talking about the data, you should be able to create different taste data, to be able to work with it, to be able to call it, to manipulate with this data, to be able to delete this test data if it's no more need in this test data. Also, working with database can help you to create test users and give them particular permissions, give them particular rights. For example, you can create users with absolutely different permissions and use these test users for testing different parts of your application, for testing like at some project it can be 7, I don't know, 10 different roles, and each role has particular permissions, particular rights in this application. So, to be able to test the possibilities for each role, you should be able to create it, yeah, and give these rights to these test users. Also, when you've got some issues, for example, you are sending notification and and you do not receive this notification on your test email, for sure you should investigate this issue. You should go to the database, yeah, to analyze was it added. Uh, is it like work like that to find the problem? So working with database is very and very useful. And to find out how particularly you can formulate your SQL queries, please stay with us and watch our next video. See you. Bye.